What was the first sentence in English, please?
When do you read the Bible?
Ah. When do you read the Bible? So, like I told you the other day, we can start with the question word, or you can start with the object. So, when is what is the Teizang word for when?
Tik.
Chika.
Jika, jika.
Sika.
Yes, jika. A little bit longer than jika.
Sika.
Yes, and we start with the object, Bible,
Lysianto.
Lysianto, and the verb,
Sim.
Him.
Yeah, and then you are asking you. The subject is you. Then we stop with na.
No.
Jika Lysianto sim na.
Yes.
Yes.
And this is one of the alternatives. Then we can start with the object, Lysianto, then the question word, jika, and then verb, and do you.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So we have two ways. First, you start with the question word, and then the object follows, and the verb. And here in the second option, we start with the object, and then we put the question word before the verb. I mean, between the object and the verb, you can put the question word, or you can just start with the question word, then object, verb.
Michael, the only thing, sorry,
Okay.
the only thing I used the alternative to Sika. I used Sixiang.
Jikjiang. Jikjiang is asking about the future.
Okay.
So when are you coming to Myanmar again? Okay. If I say when are you coming to Myanmar again, then I'm asking about the time, but not the past. The time in the future. So we say Jikjiang. Jikjiang is mainly for the future, and Jika is for the past.
Right.
So I also had a version of this that was assuming you were asking what time of day you read the Bible.
Yeah.
Then you can say this when can have multiple meaning. It can refer to your I mean the part of day, okay?
Yeah.
And what day you read the Bible. And so now Jika Lai Sento Simna, it can or Lai Sento Jika Simna. Here in this question, it can mean that you are asking about the day of the week. On what day do you read the Bible, or the part of day you read the Bible? So you can also say Aihuna. So to ask for the part of day, and then if you ask for the exact hour, the exact time, then you can say Nai I za a. Yeah. It depends.
Okay.
It depends on the how do you say, the intention of the one who asked the question. It depends on what you mean to say. But in English, we simply say when. But in Teizang, if you mean to ask the part of day, then you can say Aihuna, and the exact time Aina Aiza, and the simple time words for when Jika, but the past.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's good.
So, did you get this correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
As long as Lysianto Simna came after Nai Zaya.
So here the the form of the question is like the question word. Okay, then we use the object.
Yeah.
And the verb.
Yeah.
And the ending. Nah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Then you have another option. You can start with the object, then comes the question word, and then the verb and the ending. So this object and the question words, they are interchangeable. I mean, you can change the position.
Yeah,
Here,
thank you.
here we start with the question word. That's why we say like jika and the object like to. Then in the second, we start with the object and then comes the question word. So we start right here. Lai xiang to, the object. Jika is the question word. We have two options. And these two types of questions have the same meaning. No difference in the meaning.
Okay.
Just in the different position. Okay then, and let's move on to the second question.
When did the doctor phone you?
Sorry. When did the doctor phone you? So we can start with the question what? Okay, and so when the object is you don't necessarily need to mention that. Okay, so that's why you can directly say the subject verb. Jika siapun ba in.
Oh, good.
Phong said So I wonder if you remember the when we discussed about you in the question, the place of you. If the you is in the place of subject, and we start with na, so we end with na, okay? And then if the you comes in the place of the object, then we use ong and
I think I may have written when did you when did you phone the doctor, because I ended mine with na and had no ong.
Yeah. If the word you comes in the as the subject, then you end with na.
Yeah.
I
But
put
here,
on.
ong.
Why does on come between phone and set? I put it after set.
Phong said ong
Yeah.
So this is we have how do we say we have the practice of using this putting this on between the verb and the object. In English, you have the subject and the verb and the object, right? But in Teizang, you can start with the you see if the in normal question like the first one, we can start with the object and we can start with the question word. Okay, but here, since the object is you, then you can't start with the object. And then instead of starting the question with the object, we put ong between the object and the verb. Then in English, the phone in English is a verb, but in Teizang we use phone as a kind of object, and set is the act of calling. So phone in English is here. Phone can be in Teizang. Phone set. This is a noun. We take this as a noun, and the act of calling, we put set. This set is a loan word from Myanmar. Like is set is in Myanmar, the set means connect. So the Teizang people use the Burmese word phone set. But in English, you say only one word, phone. This can be an object or the verb. The phone can be a noun or a verb in English. But in Teizang, phone alone is the object. And if you want to say like a verb, then we put set after the phone. Then the combination of this phone set is like phone or call. We use the verb like this. So in this type of two words combination, we put ong in between.
Okay.
So I assumed with this one that you were asking the exact time. So Teizang.
Yeah. Nai za.
I put that in mine instead.
Nai ai za a. Okay. Nai za is the exact time. Asking the exact time possible. But you have to say sia one ba in. Okay. The subject and phong ong set a.
So that's correct too, if you use that.
Yeah, correct. This one is also correct. And this is also correct. Like I told you just now, it depends on the choice of the speaker.
Okay.
It depends on what you mean to ask.
I chose to ask what day, so I used the I ni.
Ainia.
Yeah, Ania, because I wanted to know what day it was.
Yeah. To be more precise, you can say Aini. But if you don't want to be very precise in what you're asking, then you can simply say Jika. Jika can mean the simple when, or it can also ask the day. And it can also ask the exact time, but it is not precise. But if you want to sound precise in what you ask, then you can change with this Naiza at what time, or Ainia possible.
Have you put an extra Z in there, Michael?
Sorry? Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
And another thing, I had doctor as Siavuan
Pa. When I say Pa, I can mean the doctor is a male doctor.
Okay, so but I could say Siavua
Pa.
Without the N and PA at the end.
Without the N?
Yeah.
So PA. Yeah.
Like that.
That's like I had that. Yeah.
Yeah. It
Doctor.
is also possible, but you are not clear. And what you focus is not the gender of the doctor. Yeah, it is possible. But we simply say Siawan Pa, or female doctor is Siawan Nu. But in Myanmar, this is also the Myanmar word. Okay, we don't have a word for doctor. That's why we simply use the Myanmar word and then we spell in Teizang. So Siawan is Sayawan in Myanmar, but we just use Siawan. And in the Myanmar word for doctor, Siawan, it doesn't have any gender thing. Just doctor, like English.
Can you remind me, Michael? Sorry, what does the word "in" after the word for doctor?
In show is a forward. It is a forward. Okay, a forerunner of the subject. Here, Siawan is the subject, and what the subject does. Okay, you are going to say what the subject does. Then you put the forerunner for the subject before you say what it does. This shows that the word just next to this is the subject. showing the subject.
Showing action of the subject.
Yeah, showing action of this one, the action of the subject. For example, like Steve asked me, okay? Then I say Steve in. Steve in. Steve bought a car. Let's say Steve in. Because I'm going to talk about what Steve does. I'm going to talk about his action. That's why Steve in. Then he does this. He does this. He did this. So this is one way of showing the action.
Thank you.
But in English, yeah, you don't use that way.
Okay.
So we have the option Naiza for the exact time. Jika is the general when, okay? General. If you want to be specific about the day, then Aini, like Rhoda said, Ainia. Tony.
I'm with you.
Okay.
My error was mixing up ong and nong.
Pong, nong.
But I understand. I'd phone nong, yeah. But I understand why.
So, like ong, I think I told you the different uses of this ong. I think the other day in our previous lesson.
Yeah.
We used it in 3 ways, right? Ong. If the subject is I, we use ong. If the object is you, and we use ong. If the object is me, we use ong. Towards me, towards you.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's move to the next question.
When did you buy your new bicycle?
When did you buy your bicycle, right?
New.
New bicycle.
Oh, new. The new bicycle, right?
Yeah.
Then here, so I will do it right here. When? So in this question, what do you think this question is asking? The exact time, or the day, or the exact hour? Which one do you think it asks?
I thought it meant the day. So I put.
So you can simply say jika or ainia. Okay. Ainia, then your new bicycle, the object. You follow the object. Your is na. Bicycle set bing. Or some people say cycle. Cycle. We pronounce bicycle. We pronounce cycle. Then we spell like we hear. We spell as we hear. That's why cycle is this one. Cycle. Na set bing or na cycle. And new is sak. Okay? Cycle sak is new bicycle. Set bing sak, new bicycle. And your is here, na. So now we've got the object. Then verb. Buy. The word for buy is lei, right? And here the subject is you, then we end with na. Jika naset bing sak lei na. Or ay niya naset bing nacycle sak lei na. The reason we end with na is because the subject is you. Okay. The common structure of a question is the question word, object, and verb. So we don't usually say the subject because it is you. Then we just put na at the end of a question. It means the subject is you. I'm asking to you. Then I stop with na. I end with na. Steve, do you have any question?
I got that one right.
Okay, very good.
I just had the Sikana said being
What?
said.
Jika naset bing sak lei na.
Yeah.
So you can pronounce like lei.
Lay.
S-A-K, suck, not suck. It sounds like this. Suck. Oh, sorry. Yeah, set bing, set T, set bing. Jika na set bing sak lei na. So yeah, in bracket I put the closest sound. Suck. Lay.
Oh,
I think they're the closest in English. Well then, Phil, did you got this correct?
Yeah, I'm a bit annoyed with myself because I misspelt A-N-E. So it's
I.
yeah, I-N-E. I had A-N-A.
Oh,
So I
na.
yeah, but I
Okay.
did the rest of it I got back. Set being Sakley na.
Very good.
Except I missed out the na before set bing.
Ah.
I put an ong in there instead because I didn't think you'd have two nars.
No, that was
See,
So I made that one an
Well-
ong.
Only if you're a nana.
if the you see, if the subject is you and the object is me, yes, we do put on. For
Hang on,
instance,
let me say that slow. If the subject is you, that's you, and the subject is me. Okay.
When did you? How do we say? When did you see me? Let's say. Here in this question, the subject is you, and the object is me. Yes,
Yeah.
we put on. So, jika ong mu na.
Okay. Yeah.
So here in this question, you have no word for the subject you and the object me. Okay, there is no word for you and me. Just ong and na is enough.
Yeah.
Ong is you to me. Okay, ong is you to me, and
Yeah.
na is you only. You to something or somebody. Na. Ong na is you and to me. You do something to me. Your action towards me, then ong na. That's why this is easily mistaken. Ong and na.
Yeah.
Very confusing.
Yeah, it is.
And unlike other Chin languages, in other Chin languages like Mizo and Falam, they don't have such things. It's the how do you say, the uniqueness of Teizang.
The confusing uniqueness.
You see, I'm going to tell you something that might sound funny. You see, in Moonlight, okay, in Moonlight, a lot of people, like there are three types of people: Teizang and Falam Chin, and Mizo Chin. Yes, the Falam people and the Mizo people, they understand our language, but they can't speak very well. Even in Moonlight, there are a lot of people in a neighborhood who understand our language but can't speak very well. So not only you. Very strange. Okay, then let's go on to the next one. Number 4, right? What's the English word? When?
When did the guests arrive?
When did the guest? Sorry. When did the guest arrive? Here, when you say arrive, we have to think about the, how do we say, the context. You have to think about the context of this question. So when I say when did the guests arrive, then I mean the guests are from a different place. They come toward us. Okay, the direction is towards us. That's why we say on. So when is 지가, the guest, 진, 때. Arrive is 동. But the guest arrive. From this question we can understand the context that the guests come from a different place away than to us. They come to us. That's why we put right here ong, tung, ah. But the word guest is a plural. Then we say u ah. Here the direct translation would be the guest would be zinte. Okay. Arrive is tung. Since the subject is a plural, we put u ah. If it is a single one, then we only say ah. But they are the plural form. That's why we say u ah. And the reason we use on right here is because we show the direction. They come from a place to this place. Then we say on. To us, to me. It shows that. So, like, come, look, and give, invite, sorry. Well, this kind of verbs can be followed by on to show the direction.
I'm afraid I'm being summoned. I've got to go. So sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's okay.
I will catch up.
Yeah.
Topa topa.
Yes, topa topa. So, come to me. Let's try to say this in Teizang. Since here the to me shows the direction, right? Then you say ong bai ve, come to me. Come alone is bai, but to me, come to me. When you say come to me, then we understand that the direction is towards me. Then we say ong bai ve, and look at me. When I say look at me, and then the direction is towards me. So that's why ong en ve. Ong. I say ong because the direction should be towards me. Then arrive. Here in this example, okay, they arrive means they come from far away, a different place to this place. That's why it shows direction. So we use on. Then tell.
I
Okay.
messed it up. I forgot about it.
But on the examples that you're just putting up, you're using on instead of to me.
Yeah.
But
To me.
in this 4 then, number 4, it's when did the guests arrive?
Yep.
What are you using on instead of?
So it is not instead of something, but you can understand from the context that the guests come from a place to me, to us.
Okay.
So, for example, at the church, okay, at the church in Moonlight, I'm talking to my aunt. Then I ask her, when did the guests arrive? Then the idea is that the guests, maybe you and Tony or Steve or Phil, you come from Manchester to us in Moonlight. So the direction is towards us in Moonlight. We are the host. That's why we use on.
Okay.
Phil, do you get that?
I did. I understand that. Yeah, I just completely forgot it when I was answering this question. I did. I understand on indicates.
You see, this is the way we say things. We say we think of the direction when we say something. Who does something to whom? Like this always comes in mind. So, for example, Steve gave me a present. Then you might say, "Oh, Steve gave me a present," simply. But in Teizang, what comes to our mind is who does something to whom, and Steve is the subject, and gave is the verb, and me is the direction. That's why we say ong. Steve in let's song ong pia means something comes to a certain direction. He does something towards something for somebody. That's when ong is always used in Teizang.
The funny thing is, for some reason, I managed to get it into question 5, but I didn't put it into question 4.
Well, that's because I was thinking that, and it's because I just thought 4 was general and 5 was actually coming to a place.
So
but
then, what?
5 he gave you. Sorry.
Okay, what is the English word for 5?
When did Jimmy come to the church?
So he came to a place rather than just generally.
Jimmy,
But you'd given it to us in 5 because you'd said come equals on pi. Yeah.
When did Jimmy come to the church? All right. So, you can have two options depending on your situation. If you are at the church and you ask somebody, at the time of asking, you yourself are at the church, then you say on. But you're not at the church at the time of speaking, then you don't need to say on.
Okay.
So let me write in like this. We start with the question 1, right? Jika Jimmy biak in a ong by a. When I say ong, then at the time of asking this question, I am at the church. So the direction is towards us at the church. I'm still at the church. Then I am at home and I ask somebody, I'm not at the church. So jika Jimmy biak ina by a. Now we don't have on because I am not at the church myself at the time of asking. So the direction is different.
That does explain why we can be misunderstood so easily, doesn't it? In what we say, what we ask. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What we ask always have a direction. Somebody who does something to whom or towards what? Okay, like that. You always have a direction. When did Jimmy come to the church? Then, if I am at the church and ask, then jika Jimmy biết ina ong pa ya, okay? But if I'm not at the church myself, I don't say ong. Celia.
Yes.
So.
Okay. I'm just accusing Phil of saying something that he Jimmy first as the first thing. Question on number 5.
Okay.
I shouldn't have done. I can see that now.
I think you can.
Okay.
Can you put Jimmy first?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're okay.
The form of the question itself is you can put the Jimmy first.
Okay.
Jimmy, and then the question word, jika, and the rest are the same.
Okay, thank you.
I was just about to say, I mean, you were too quiet.
Me, I'm trying to absorb it, Michael.
Okay.
She absorbs quietly. I absorb noisily.
As long as it's being recorded, Tony, is it?
Sorry, Celia?
As long as all this is being recorded, I'll be fine.
Yeah, it's all recorded.
You see, I myself sometimes watch the videos on YouTube again.
Do you?
Yeah.
Ah.
Like a review of myself. Sometimes I need to make a review of myself.
And you still think that we're doing okay?
Yeah, okay. You see, the thing is that we have to be patient because you see, I mean, language acquisition takes time.
Yeah.
Can you be very patient? Because I'm just going to ask a really silly question, I think.
Okay.
So you have to be a bit more patient again. When after na, or you had a, and after you put a.
Oh,
again.
Yeah.
But nice. after biakin, we have ah.
This is the preposition to. This, AH.
That's to. Okay.
That is the preposition to.
And R on its own, when it comes after UHR. No, it's after question 4. Right.
You see,
I had just
this one.
Yeah. I just had that on its own, but you put R after it.
This is question, and this is
oh dear, it's my lack of English knowledge, isn't it?
So we don't say this we say ooh.
Ooh. Yeah, I was saying sorry, ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. So why did you put, I thought that shows a plural, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
But why did it have an R after it when you wrote the answer to question 4? which was, when did the guests arrive?
Let me write in 2 sentences.
Okay.
In simple questions, unless the subject is you or unless the subject is pronoun and the question ends with "a." So, jika Zin Ong Tung A, the singular form. The singular form of a question normally ends with "a" if the subject is not you or another pronouns. But your question, since let's say the guest is the plural form, then we put "u." Then this is the question, what the plural question, and then the subject themselves would be plural.
Okay, so you leave it in. I just put the plural in, but I took out the. I didn't put the other one in. Okay. Thank you.
If the guest in the subject is a singular noun, then you don't need to say
that in.
And you don't need to say there. So it's like we put the plural form in two places, at 2 places. Okay, at one at the noun itself, and another one at the end of a sentence. We use the plural 2 times. But in English, you see, sometimes it's similar to English. Like, for example, let me say the children are okay. Here in this, we have the agreement. Okay, we have the agreement of the subject and the verb. Here in English, the children is a plural word, a plural noun. Then we use a plural verb, are. Okay, and if the subject is a noun, a singular noun, then we use is. So the number of this subject and the verb should agree. Singular and singular, plural and plural. So in the same way in Teizang, if the subject is a singular, then you say Zin and A. But if the subject is a plural, you put here Zin Te, okay? Te and U A at the end.
Thank you.
Does it explain?
Yes, just hope I remember it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, the next one.
And when do you start work?
When do you start work? When do you start work? So, what do you think this question is asking?
What day? I thought. What's the date?
Well,
when do you start work?
What time?
I think it is asking the exact time you start work each day.
Okay.
Right, because when you say do and you're asking your habits or things in general, that's why this is not the date. When do you start work is your regular time, the time you regularly start work each day. Right, then the same. You can say Nai Aiza. You see, in Myanmar, okay, let's say I work in an office. Then I say I start work at 9 a.m. and finish at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Then you ask me, when do you start work? And I would answer that way. I start work at 9 a.m. and finish at 4 p.m. So in this question, the question should ask the time you regularly start work each day. That's why we say nai za. Or you can simply say I hun a. I hun a. Okay. So let me just use only one. Nai za. Work. The object is na sep. Sep. And start kipan. Since the subject is you, we stop with na. Na. Na.
I got that
Because,
one.
okay. Naeza nasep kipan na. Then you can also start with nasep, the object. Nasep ai za a kipan na. Yeah, we start with the object. Right here, you start with the question word. You have two options. And I wonder if you noticed the spelling right here. Nasep. We have a way of spelling it differently when we talk about the noun form. In English, work can be a verb or it can be a noun, right? But the spelling has no difference in there's no difference in spelling. So let's say work in English, it can be a verb, and walk can also be a noun. There's no difference in spelling, right? But in Teizang, na same is a verb. If you want to make this a noun, you change the last letter with p, then it becomes a noun.
Okay.
Okay, that's why, yeah, I wrote nasep kipan, okay? Not nasem, but nasep kipan.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Then, what's the next question?
When does the flight take off?
Ah.
I was very confused on this with the lengths.
Yeah.
I wrote two answers to this. If it was understood to be a specific question, i.e. what time, or secondly, if it was understood to be less specific, what day or date does the flight take off? So I wrote two answers.
Right.
So then, let's break down this sentence again. When, jika, and the subject. Since there's no object, you can start with the subject. Flight. Van Lang is the flight. Take off. Lang. And this in common question, we start with a. Jika van Lang lenga. Or you can have nai ai za a van Lang lenga. Okay. Then you can start with the object van Lang, then the question word nai za a, and verb lenga. Here is the question word.
I got that one right. It was just interesting having take off, having the leng in it, and
Leng.
yeah.
You see, leng itself is fly.
Okay.
But you have in English you have a different word for different words for describing the flight of an airplane. So when it is flying above the sky, you say fly. But when it leaves the ground, you say take off. But in Teizang, we have this. We use the same word, leng.
I don't know why, but I put Leng last.
Your plane was a bit late.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
We were once sitting in Kalemio, Michael, waiting for the plane down to Yangon, and we were wondering because the time was getting on. We were sitting having coffee in a little cafe, and we said it's okay. I think Boy or somebody said it's okay because that man over there, he's the pilot. So we just followed him.
Well, speaking of the flight, now every flight service is closed down. Local and international.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Even local, even bus services.
Really? Bus
Really?
Yeah. I can't go anywhere right now.
No.
So.
Nor can we, if it's any consolation.
We can't.
Yeah. Okay. And the next one. What's the next
When
one?
are you free?
When sorry. Are you free? So what is the word for free?
Man.
Man.
No. Not man, but
Man.
Man.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, that's good.
Falling
Got
down.
lots.
Yeah.
Man.
It has this man has multiple meanings. I think I told you once. Right. Man.
6.
Man.
7. Yeah.
So speaking of this, I will tell you again. Here, man can be finish, can be free, because man sticky.
Correct.
Man, photo. Just for information.
I don't think I know.
Man and rest.
Catch or to rest. Correct.
How confusing.
We could get into serious trouble with this.
Yes.
You see, I didn't know that we have this much. I don't say this much variation until we begin this class. I didn't recognize. I didn't even know that we have this much use.
So this, say again how we pronounce this one for free. Is that going up? How do we say it? Go up, man.
Yeah,
up.
Look at me. I start with just slow falling and then rising. Okay, slow falling and rising. Man, like carving style. Carving. Then the pronunciation for free and finish is the same. Finish or and. The same. The pronunciation for finish as a verb, man. Free as an adjective, man. The same pronunciation.
Okay.
And because as a conjunction, man. But when you say because, we put another word like manin because to show a reason. We put in manin. And then the man for sticky is here. Please look at my my lips and my finger. Man. Here. Man. Man. Your upper teeth is on the tip of your tongue. Man. Yeah, that sound exactly. Man. 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 And mirror and glass is here in sticky. We stress like man. Yeah, the position of my my lips and my jaw. Man. Okay. Man. A quick movement. Man. But here for mirror and glass, I move slowly. Man. The position is all the same, but the speed is slow. Man. And if I do it quickly, man. Man is sticky. And mirror, we do it very slowly. Man.
So can you do me a favor? Can you put them into 2 sentences, one in each, just so we can hear you say it at your normal speed? Because it's never slowed down as much as you're saying, I think, to us. Thank you.
Okay. Let me use them, okay, in sentence. Okay. So let's start. Yeah, finish man. Man as a verb is finish or end. So biak biak hun manta. Biak biak hun is the church service or the worship service has finished. Manta. Manta is finished. If anything is done, then we say manta manta. You can simply say, I am done, I am finished. Manta. Okay, you're working on something and then you say, oh, I'm finished. Manta. You can simply say, manta is finished. You're taking a bath or you're getting dressed, then you say, oh, I'm done, I'm finished. Manta. Just a common, you can say like a common phrase. Manta, manta. This is one use of finished. Man. Biak biak hun, the time of the worship. The direct translation would be the time of the worship. The church service has finished. So biak biak hun is the service time, the duration, the length of the service. We describe as a whole. So biak biak hun manta, the church service has finished. Then free is man. So kei tu ni man lo. Kei tu ni man lo. Man lo is the negative. Lo is the negative, right? Man lo is not free. Tu ni is today. Kei is I am. I'm not free today. Kei tu ni man lo. Okay. Then kakut man le. Man sticky. Kakut is my hand. My hand is man is sticky. Lay is very. This is an adverb. Very or so. My hand is very sticky. Kakut man lay. Man lay. Then another word, man in, is to show reason. So Steve manla ahi manin. Steve manla is busy. Ahi manin, it is because. So because Steve is busy. In English, you put because in the beginning, but in Teizang, that manin comes in the end. So the opposite place. So in the Bible, you can see God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, and whosoever believes in Him should not perish. So in this verse, pasyan in leitong mite hong it mamahi man in, they say. Man in is because, and man for mirror and glass we say man. We stress a bit longer and slower, man. But this man is, well, I forgot to mention one. Correct is also man. Yeah, man. Here, when we say glass, man high is a cup. Okay, high is a cup. So man high, we say glass cup. Nane here is do you have? So man high, nane here, do you have a glass cup? Here in this sentence we say man slowly, man, because we're referring to the glass. And photo is man, like this. Here, man. Can you see that? Man. Yeah, exactly. Correct. Man. Man is photo. So Gaman is my photo. Namu here. Do you see? Do you see my photo? Gaman namu here. And a rest or cat is also man, but in the passive we put with giman. Okay. Zanita kuta giman. Zanita is last night. Kuta is a thief. Giman is got arrested. A thief got arrested last night. So we start with the time word Zanita. Zanita, the time word. Kuta, a thief. Giman got arrested. And another one, man, also giman, the same. Yeah, giman, the same word, the same sound, but different meaning. He puan ak, okay, puan ak, shirt. This shirt, giman take. Giman is cheap. Tak a is also very, or so and also, so and very. Tak a. Giman take. Very cheap, so cheap. So we have two types of adverb. In English, you say very or so. In Teizang, lei or tak a or sa mei. Or bilbele. I'm sure that's going to confuse you. The use of very and so, lei. So not tak, okay, tak a, sa mei, bilbele. Bilbele is also very, but I didn't expect that much. Unexpectedly.
Okay, surprise. It's kind of thing.
Yeah, it shows surprise.
Yeah.
So the simple variant so is lei or take or same, but bilbele can be unexpected thing. I didn't expect you to be very good in Teizang, but you are better than I thought. Then I say, oh, you're very good. Then oh, bilbele, siam bilbele, siam bilbele. Okay, bilbel mean unexpectedly. So here, hi ponak kiman take. You can substitute right here. You can substitute lei. Hi ponak kiman lei, very cheap. Kiman same, very cheap. The same. You can use this sam a or tak a or lei. It's your choice. Okay. Let me repeat these sentences again, so you can listen to them later. Biak biak hun manta. The church service has finished. Biak biak hun. Okay. Biak biak hun manta. And tuni gay tuni manlo. Gay tuni manlo. I'm not free today. Gay is I am. Tuni today. Manlo not free. And kakut manle. My hand is very sticky. Kakut is my hand. Sticky is man. Man. Okay. Man. Sticky. Lay is very. Kakut man lay. The sound is a bit lower. And Steve manla ahi manin. Steve manla is busy. Ahi manin because. Steve busy because. Steve manla ahi manin. Then man hai nane hiya. Man hai is glass cup. Nane hiya do you have? Man hai nane hiya. Do you have a glass cup? Then kaman man, okay? Kaman namu hiya. Kaman is my photo. Namu hiya is do you see? Kaman namu hiya. Do you see my photo? And Zanita Kuta Giman. Zanita is last night. Kuta, a thief. Giman got arrested. Zanita Kuta Giman. A thief got arrested last night. Then he buon ak this shot. Giman cheap. Take so. He buon ak giman take. This shot is so cheap. Okay. And we have another word. Mane. It is correct. Mande. Then you are correct. Or you are right. You're right. Mande. Mane, it is correct. And you are correct. You are correct. You are right. Mane. Mande. By the way, have I disappeared?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
I can
let me try.
I can still hear you though.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm sure you don't want to see me.
We can see you, but you're very still.
Oh yeah, I mistakenly
There you are. You're back.
I mistakenly click on this button. That's
Oh.
why. Okay, so these are the places, so the many ways you use man, man,
Mm.
man, and yeah, okay. So mane, it is correct. You are right. You are correct. Mande.
Monday.
Day.
Day.
So, Tony, what do you think of this usage? This ones?
That was very, very helpful. Thank you. It clearly is context would help us a lot.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because the church service wouldn't be sticky often.
Or arrested.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
That's why. In every sentence, you have to take note of the context, because if you're not aware of the context, then you might understand things incorrectly.
Yeah. You could be saying I'm not sticky today.
Yeah. Just reading the letter, the sentence will it can make you understand something the wrong way, maybe the opposite of what they mean. So the context and the sound, very important.
That would be fun.
So let me write something fun. So let's guess the meaning.
Something about my photo at the end.
So this in my photo.
Person.
A person. So let's omit this. Okay. A person. Man eye.
Holding a glass. Yeah.
Glass cup.
Yeah.
Dog is with or holding.
Yeah.
Giman.
Cheap one.
So in my photo, a person with a glass cup. Cheap, or which should be the most suitable?
Someone who nicked it.
So okay, let's connect them. Kamana. Okay, in my photo, มีคัด a person มานหายต่อ with a glass cup and กิมัน what would be the suitable one
Cheap, I thought.
Say them again. Sorry. We've got my photo, a person, glass cup.
yeah
Cheap.
Kamana in my photo มีคัด a person
Person.
มานหายต่อ with a glass cup กิมัน what would be กิมัน in this context
In my photo, the person with a glass cup. A cheap one. A bargain.
Cheap. A person with a glass cup is cheap.
No. Or a bargain.
A person with a glass cup is a good bargain. No.
What, the person or the cup?
Sticky. Person with a glass cup. Got
Person who
arrested.
stole the-
Yeah,
person who stole the
exactly.
glass cup.
Because the person with a glass cup is arrested. Got arrested.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know why you chose the word arrest? Because you look at a person and with. Okay. A person with that there's no way to use cheap or bargain. The person is involved, so it has something to do with catching or arresting.
Yeah. Yeah.
น่ามีกันมาถ่ายต่อ
Not easy.
No.
Yeah. I will add two or three words. Kamana mikan man hai to kiman ahi man. Remember this. Ahi manin. Okay. Ahi manin is because.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So let's this. Mikan man hai to kiman ahi man. Because a person got arrested with a glass cup. Ama ben that person man is correct or right. He is not right. A person with a glass cup got arrested because he man not right or not correct.
Bad.
Just being funny.
Yeah.
Well, and what's the next question? Where were we?
When are you free? We're still needing the full answer. When are you free?
When are you free? Oh, sorry. When are you free? When is so? When I say when are you free, then I'm asking about the future time, right?
Ah, I had this right.
So then Jikjiang. Jikjiang.
Man.
Oh, no.
Nah.
Ha! Got it right.
But this is in the English context, not in Teizang.
Okay.
You see, you have a plan or appointment. Sorry about the noise from the neighborhood. In English, you have a plan, or what you already know what you're going to do tomorrow or the day after. You have a notebook, you have an appointment, right?
Yeah.
That's when you ask, when are you free, or are you free tonight? Because you know it beforehand. But in Teizang, we don't know what we're going to do tonight.
Okay.
That's why we always say into the future. That's why 직장 만 읽나, 직장 만 읽나. It is like, when are you going to be free? We mentioned the future word ing, because we don't know. We don't know what we're doing tomorrow or tonight. But in English, you already know.
Okay.
That's why
Thank you.
people ask, are you free tomorrow? Are you free tomorrow? When I say, are you free tomorrow, I'm asking about your schedule. Your schedule tomorrow, right? So already know the future. But in days that we don't know, because we don't have plans or appointments like English people. That's why we can say 직장 만나. No, we say 직장 만나. This ing shows that the free time is the future.
So I didn't get it right.
No, you forgot the ing.
Yeah. And yeah, I didn't think you would.
So there's two bits that show the future then, isn't there?
Yeah.
Chikyang and ing. So
Man is free. Man ing is will be free or going to be free. So you don't have that use in English. In English, you ask, when are you free? Or are you free tonight? Are you free tomorrow? So like I told you, because you say, are you free tomorrow? Because you already know what you're going to do tomorrow. Then you ask the schedule. In Teizang, we don't have schedule for a future. That's why we put unsure future in. It is like, when will you be free? But in English, you don't use the will, but you use are, because you already have some arrangement or some plans, appointments. That's the difference.
So does the same thing apply to number 9 then?
When are you busy?
When are you busy? Would it be the same?
Yeah. When I say when are you busy? And if you know that you are going to be busy, then 직장 보이나.
Ing.
Okay.
Mhm.
In future, 직장 보이나. But if I ask your regular habits, for example, for me, I say the busiest time for me is in the summer. Okay. So in general, I'm busy in the summer. So if you say, when are you busy? What is the busiest time for you? Then you're asking the general, the habits. Okay. The habits, I mean, what time I'm most busy every day or every year or every month, the time cycle. So you say, 직장 보이나. When are you busy? Like the general time when you are busy.
Okay, I got it.
But,
I did get that.
But if I say this, 직장 보이나, then you will be busy in the future. But when? This is what it really asks. Rhoda,
yeah,
what do you think?
I think I've got it. when
So,
you put an extra ing
okay.
in.
Let me explain in a different way.
Sorry.
When I say, when do you go to bed? Or when do you have coffee? Okay, when do you have coffee? And when are you going to have coffee? So, when do you have coffee?
Yeah.
And another question, when are you going to have coffee?
Okay. Right. So when do you have coffee? I have it in the morning with my breakfast. When are you going to have it? Would be when next time I'm going to have it.
Exactly. So when
Okay.
do you have coffee is your habits of, okay, your
Yeah.
habits of having coffee. And when are you is your plan
Yeah.
the next time. Like this.
Yeah.
If I say ingna, 직장 보잉나 is your plan your next time. Busy
Okay.
time.
Thank you. Yeah.
And 직장 보잉나 is your regular time you're busy.
Yeah. Thank you.
There's only one more.
Okay.
Number 10, when did you get here?
Okay. And when did you get here? When I say this, something that has to come to your mind is the direction. You get here from a certain place out there.
Mm-hmm.
When I say when did you get here, I am right here at the time of speaking. Then you come from a certain place to this place to where I am. Then, but it is a past time, right? That's why we say 지가 동나. 지가 is for the past. 직장 is for the future.
I put if it was understood to be a specific question, like what time did you get here? No, a ongtona.
That's what I put.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking you meant the exact time, like 10 o'clock. Yeah.
Exactly. You can say 아이구나, 나이자. Okay, the exact time. If you want to be specific. So one thing I would like to summarize is is when in the past. Okay. 직장 is when, but it is for the future. The question what, okay? And I would can be when in general, or specific time. I would and za is also when it is specific time. So in this all chica also when, but we use this when as when you are asking about the past time. When did you come here? When did you finish college? When did you get married? When did you last visit Myanmar? Like that in the past. The time in the past we use chica. 직장 is when for the future. So when are you coming to Myanmar again?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I Ni are.
What?
You haven't.
Oh,
Which
yeah, yeah. I missed that one. Idea means when, but it is asking about the date.
Yeah.
Idea on Monday, on Sunday.